you invest in yourself and position yourself in order to earn a seat at the table and earn the ability to change the perception of Africans and Africa's future. So to help contribute to that process, I'll briefly share a few ideas that we can collectively think about as in terms of our mandate as Africa's global ambassadors. So the first has to do with our theme today, Ibodiegu, level up. We have yet to really explore the definition of Ibodiegu. I would like to thank UIU for identifying such a powerful vision for our gathering here today. How we define ourselves is directly related to who we are and what we're able to accomplish in this world. So we must level up our definition of ourselves. And Ngozi, of course, spoke about that as well. We need to level up our definition of ourselves. So really, the word Egu, what does that mean? The word Egu instills, it brings up images of awe. It should instill a sense of pride. Igbo is awesome. Igbo is magnificent. You are magnificent. So if Igbo is magnificent and you are magnificent, what are some of the things to think about and how we bring that magnificence to this world and into our society? So the first I would like to start with is the world is your canvas. And we've heard about the study about how African immigrants were significantly more likely to have graduate degrees in the US, with 16% having master's degrees, law degrees, doctorates, compared with only 11% of the US population. Round of applause, yeah. According to the US Bureau of Statistics and Census, they studied the largest immigrant populations, and of those populations, Nigerians had the highest educational attainment, about 61%. And to put that in context, we were followed by Ethiopians at 27%. Trinidadians at 25%, Jamaicans at 24%, Haitians at 19%. So Nigerians at 61%. The study did not go deeper within the Nigerian population, and I say this not just because of the audience, but I think it's fair to say the majority of that population were Igbo. Another study that's gotten a lot of focus this year is about the power of the purse, and the study that was put out, which indicated that African immigrants contribute more than 10.1 billion in federal taxes. And we contribute 4.7 billion in state and local taxes. And most importantly, we have an economic clout to the point, are you ready, of 40.3 billion in spending power. So I have two reactions to these studies. The first, if your highest vision of yourself is obtaining a graduate degree, you're thinking too small. We must resist the urge to believe that our greatest accomplishment is the degrees we hold. Yes, education is power, but it must be viewed as a tool. What you do with your education is infinitely more important than the education itself. You need to fundamentally alter the composition of everything you touch. You must leave your mark on this world and on the canvas of life. The second reaction I have has to do with the spending power and the tax, and our contributions in taxes. I think we also have to think about how that spending power translates into a voice that fundamentally changes the African narrative and the perception of Africans in the world. The last piece that I will touch on, and this is mainly for this audience, and we've talked a lot about social media in this conference, and I think Stephen and Ngozi also did a great job of flagging for us how we can think about the power of social media. Ndi Igbo sị, nwata rie awọ, ọ gaghị acha anụ. For the ISL people in the room, Igbo as a second language. When a child eats a frog, it kills his or her appetite for meat. So with all due respect to the vegetarians in the room, we can swap out frog and meat for, I don't know, beets and quinoa. But the point is, if your time is consumed by things that don't matter, you leave little room for what's truly important or desired. So may your time on the internet, the time you spend online as you engage with people, think about how we use that interaction to be more powerful as a community, how we use that interaction to increase our voice, how we use that interaction to lift other people up, how we use that interaction to invest in ourselves. So going back to the future of Africa, and really this is in conclusion, I'll go back to that central question that we started with. The future of Africa, and we can put a blank in there, you get to fill it in. So I'll tell you how I filled in the blanks in that room that day, and what I shared with that small group of global decision makers. And this is a view that I fully embrace, and I have committed myself to building. The future of Africa is innovation. The future of Africa is entrepreneurship. The future of Africa is sustainable legal systems. The future of Africa is ethical cultures and societies that produce ethical leaders. The future of Africa is individuals who realize and live their full potential. The future of Africa is strong and loving families. The future of Africa is within these four walls. The future of Africa is you and me. Thank you.